This is my ankle boot. It used to be my knee-high boot. It was converted. The reason? Well, I don't even know why I bought them in the first place. I bought them on a whim because they looked cute, but just not on me. They are fall leather and was not an expensive purchase at the time, and therefore repurposing them would not be a problem either. And I wanted to repurpose them myself. I thought, well, how hard could it be? And I was right. The process was not difficult at all. I made up the process as I went along. This is what I did. So now, because I've already cut and designed the first boot, I'm going to use the cut section as a pattern, so to speak. I've used a marker to mark the area that I want to cut. Then I'm going to use a roller cutter and my straight metal edge so I don't go offline. I want to get a straight cut right across. So even though my line is drawn, I will still use the straight edge. So now place the straight edge along the line and slide open your roller cutter. Brace it up against the ruler and begin cutting. Notice I'm not using a cutting mat. You should though. I'm just using my old linoleum tiles here on my basement floor in my craft room. And voila, I will use this piece for another project. And of course, the zipper is useless now. You will find that it takes a little longer to cut through the zipper. Oh, I could never throw this piece away. Priceless. I could picture all the things I could make with this. See how simple it is to cut it? And this is what you get. Now, I must tell you this. I recorded this project a few years ago. And while putting it together this week, I ran into a problem, and that is I'm missing some clips. And the clips you're seeing now are the only ones I was able to find. I will try to explain what I did without the missing clips. And anyway, as you can see, it is not a difficult project. And so now what I'm doing is cutting out the zipper. Be careful not to cut the seams at either side of the zipper. I'm sure that generally a lot of boots are basically the same when it comes to the seams and the zippers. And remember, I had no idea prior to what I would and would not do with these boots. I am simply planning each step as I go along. Yeah, so I've just cut it. And just be careful about when you cut the zipper out that you're not going to cut the little seams here. Yes, you want to keep those seams intact and remove the entire zipper.
So I use a double rivet because it has two buttons.
This is a solid metal hammer block used for, as the name suggests, and it's quite heavy.
I use eyelets. Eyelet here. I also used an awl to help me poke out the hole sometimes, and a scissors to sometimes from the fabric to get it out if it doesn't come out properly.
I also have the option of a rubber mallet.
You can use a hammer. And I also use a cloth, which is this one, to put on top of my button.
And to poke holes into the leather, I used a rotary leather punch, but you don't have to. I only have all these tools because I love tools and I have many interests.
You may or may not want to have a tassel or some kind of a decorative oomph at the back, like this. So these are tools you'll need to set your rivets, what I did with the boots. So I don't remember the name of this set, but I would suppose it's called a rivet and eyelet tool set. So this is what it comes with. It comes with 3 eyelet setters and 2 rivet setters.
My goal here is just for fun to show you how I cut my knee-high boots down. So I'm not going to waste your time with haphazard instructions of the use of each of these tools. Instead, I will supply a link of those with the true skills.
I will be using this one. It's concaved and it fits on like this. Okay, and then you have the plate with the different sizes for these to go into. So that will fit into this one here. Okay. Get these out of the way. So there are a lot of videos that you can watch. I am no expert. I just like to dabble in a lot of things, as you can probably tell. Okay, and then I have here my leather hole punch. And this is the size I want, is this one here. Because this one here, this fits into this without going all the way in. You see? So it's just a good size. It fits right in, but it doesn't go through or right in. So it's perfect size. Now, oh, here we go. I think I got it. Did you hear the snap? I'll take the awl and I'll lift it out or poke it out. Poke it through. There you go. Right? Didn't come all the way out though. So, we have to get a little scissors. Get my scissors. Then I could stick my post through. Like that. And then it's in. And so then I'm going to put my little female part in. Kind of snap it closed. You hear the snap? Okay. And so since it said to get a rubber mallet, it's a rubber mallet. And then you could use this too, right? Okay. So then now I have this here and I set it under here like so. And then you can get a piece of material. I have a whole bunch of extra material around the house. And then I can do, then I grab my large one, use the concave part, put it on top, find where that is, because this is a rhinestone, so I hope I don't crack it. And then I'm going to use my rubber mallet. Let's see what happens.
And my rhinestone button is still intact.
And it's in. Can do a little bit more pounding. I'll just do just for the heck of it. With my rubber mallet. You know, I prefer to do this on the ground, to be honest, because that's what I did before. I did it on the ground because you have the support of the hard ground rather than a table, which allows it to be hammered better from the bottom and the top. It's like sandwiched between the ground and this and the hammer, and so it goes in better. Okay, so there you go. It's in. That's what I did with the boots. And the eyelets are the same. I'll just show you the eyelets. So let me put this away very carefully because I like when I have things, I can find them easily. So what I did with this one is I just took off the instructions and I stuck it on here just so I'll know what I'm doing, right? So I never forget, because sometimes you forget when you don't use something for a while, right? And then I put this on top of it. And then when I'm ready to find it, it's just there.
This set did not arrive from Amazon in this box. This box originally contained a cell phone, but it came in pretty handy for storage though. This is a salt and pepper shaker, but you can use it for a myriad of things. As you can see here, I use it for storing my findings of all sorts, as well as my beads.
Here.
Okay, for the eyelets, mark your spot.
Mark your area.
Fold the
Fold
fabric
right
twice and then
there
cut.
and just cut. It's probably a bit big. That's a bit big. Okay, so if you put it in, let's see. The hole is gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be just a bit too big. Okay, so you want to cut smaller than that. Let's try it again. It comes out through here. Pull it back till it comes right through.
This little tool set works very well.
Down here, this area here, that little nipple like, it's like a nipple. And you just hammer it.
See what I mean about the grip and using the floor versus the table? Especially with the eyelet, it takes a lot more work to do it with the eyelet. So I'm going on the floor.
You see the difference on the floor? Now it's really in.
But my basement floor is linoleum on concrete, so it works perfect. I folded the leather inward and then down, and then the eyelets and the rivets were installed, just as you see here. So now that the rivets and the eyelets are installed, insert your strings from your tassel into the eyelets. Tie off, cut, and you're done. It's that simple. You can practice first, of course. You can leave the back loose or you can draw it tighter. It depends on your ability to fit in your heels. I have bigger than the average feet for women, so mine just has to be kept loose. And that's it. And what do you think? Please like, share, or subscribe. And visit me in the next one. Clever ideas, home hacks, and feel good ideas every week on Domestic Mix.